kick is away. Yeah, he'll take this up past the 20 and down. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. And all the way down to the 35. A big effort that time out of Ingram. 43 yards. Nothing fancy there. A little smash mouth football right up the gut as you described and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, it's Ingram looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Arden Key, the ex-LSU Tiger, there on the stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive, I mean, remember we talked with the offensive line, and one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time they had it 4th and goal.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Check. Hatch it.
Carr gives to Richard. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr, flush to his right. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football, understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Carr completes it, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here? Over. Wow. Tim Williams. And the Ravens are... going to get the football back. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson now steps away to his left. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Here's Jackson to throw. Dancing to his left. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit. They're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big...
And Wilson has it. Fighting his way through contact. And all the way way down to the 24-yard line. A big play.
Y'all playing the wrong football. Kill. Hey, team six.
Carr now on first down. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's complete to Brown, right side. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Carr now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Check. 93. Go. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
On play action. Now Carr rolling to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The final shot here before half for Carr. And that's
easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen. But when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Check the backer. Hey, 734. 6-6. Pull it high.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll head. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Now Jackson on first down. Forced out to his left. And I think the ball's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The throw there finding its way to Boyle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
From the 44, Jackson being chased out left. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was the free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, that time, able to make the play.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball. Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Jackson on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long. They've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 11 yards there, first down.
And the big guy catches the ball in the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And an alley to run. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially his second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. The football game.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. That one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion. And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion, got the job done for a first down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second and 11 now. Carr. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Towards the end zone for Brown. And that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They'll go for it. It's Carr rolling to his right. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage there by Trayvon Mullen.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring it.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down. Towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. They'll look to run with Ingram. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back now in Baltimore. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on 2nd and goal.
Check 26, check 26.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 3-yard touchdown run, and the Ravens have broken the tie. They were able to stop him at the line on first down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination. And they got it done on the 2nd try.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. Another try after the first down sack. Carr into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now a throw here to his running back. He won't go down. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Hey, 734. Hey, high 7.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And down inside the 15 he goes. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Carr. Steps away to his left. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Carr. Yeah, this is Carr. Touchdown, Raiders. Luke Wilson, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get that. Let's go.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So
and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders have recovered.
well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr escaping the pressure right. That's complete to Richard, the running back. That one goes for 36 yards.
Tell you what, partner, get the football in his hand. Just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Richard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run
to the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. And it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. That's caught left side by the tight end Boyle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Dancing to his left. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, all the way down at the 21-yard line. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a first down in field goal range already. Now Jackson buying time. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Wow, so they were already in field goal range. Now this and a completely new story to tell.
And frankly, what they're going to say when they review this game and go over it, they're going to tell the other, you had one job. All right, you knew what you had to get done. You knew where we wanted to kick the field goal from. You know our range. Just take care of the football, and we win the game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Carr now to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. The two big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Pernell McPhee picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To try again after the sack. Carr, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Maurice Hurst breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A heck of an effort there on the scramble leaves them with just 3rd and a yard.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether we're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him. That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call. But when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.